Anyway, welcome everyone to the Half Past Diminishly podcast. It's just today. It's just me. It's just me and Reid, chilling on this bit of time wasting, routine that we have here on Minecraft. Now, as you can see, the game looks a bit different because I couldn't. I got Optifine installed, but for some reason Optifine just didn't install. So I'm just gonna say, like, toss caution to the wind and just go with what I have right now. Anyway, that's what we're dealing with now. So how have you been, Reid? How's your last couple of weeks been? Actually, it's been a while since we've recorded.
So far, it's been a very uneventful. I'm not gonna lie.
Uneventful.
Very, what's the word? Boring. Yeah.
Yeah. Boring. I can relate.
Been really just been playing games, waiting to get back to work.
Oh yeah. What games have you been consuming your time with?
So far it's been usually just Apex, Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
What any other games I could really waste my time on and forget how terrible you really feel after spending like 6 hours of just wasting time on games.
I know exactly what you mean. Just like, oh no. I hear Phantom's over by you, by the way.
Yeah, I'm being attacked right now. Like,
do you think we should slip?
I don't think I have a bed.
Oh. Well, that's a problem. Didn't you, like, murder a bunch of innocent sheep before, though?
I did, but I have 2 white wool and 1 black wool, and apparently I can't. Apparently this game's racist.
Oh, that
and
just
you
doesn't
can't mix white and blacks.
What?
Against the rules.
Minecraft. You were created by a Swedish man, and you still can't get past your sheep racism.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Impossible. You want to? I mean, you want to come to my? Oh, you're gonna take Sam's bed. All right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stick in Sam's bed.
All right. Don't tell Sam.
Sam, don't watch this.
Yeah, Sam.
Wait, Sam doesn't have a bed. Does he have wool though?
Oh, does he?
Doesn't. No.
Uh-oh. He doesn't even have 1 wool?
No, not a single one.
Alright, well, this podcast, while we talk over about just... The thing I wanted to talk about this week, because it was just been, I think, like an increasing topic on YouTube in general. Yeah, that's my bed. It doesn't work this way. The topic I wanted to go for this week was actually YouTube content, but more centered around Minecraft first, and then kind of just go from talking about YouTube in general, because I think, like, the thing that's happened recently, Creeper behind you, but the thing that's happened somewhat recently is that there's been this sort of resurgence of I guess older content is one way to put it. Or like content that we used to see a number of years ago is now like coming back, and I think it's kind of in a similar vein to how movies nowadays are like recalling back to the 80s, because the people who were kids back then are being like, you know what, I really want to like see this whole aspect come to life again in my adult life, because that would be kind of fun. Then I can share my childhood with other people. And that's like especially apparent with, for example, Stranger Things being one big thing. But with YouTube content, we've gone full circle from loving Minecraft to mocking kids who love Minecraft to those kids then growing up to be old enough to make Minecraft videos, and then suddenly Minecraft's like uber popular again.
Yeah.
I don't know, what's your take on that? Like,
I think it started as a meme with PewDiePie starting to make Minecraft videos, and then it kind of just I don't know. Then I guess other people saw that it did really well, then they tried to do it, and then all of a sudden, I think people are just starting to realize, like, wait, Minecraft's actually a good game still.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
I think as well, it's like just been one of those games that's held true to its sort of core values over the years too. That's like why I think League of Legends is still... Holy shit, what the hell? Oh my goodness. There's like an explosion of lightning and thunder, and then an army of skeletons on horses. What the heck just happened? Oh, I'm so sorry. That was like midway through a sentence, and it scared me, and I'm running home now because I'm a scared little boy gonna be blown up by a creeper. Oh my goodness, I am.
I remember when we first started playing this, we were like, yeah, Minecraft's a really chill game. Won't really be distracting at all, and now we're running away from creepers and having heart attacks.
Well, if you'd seen what I'd seen, it was like the apocalypse, like the fourth horseman just came down and was like, hey, screw that guy in particular. But yeah, started off as a meme. I actually do kind of agree with that because, like, back when it was popular, you know, you either were 10 and you loved it, or you were, you know, older and you just didn't like it because you're like, well, it's such a big deal to these 10-year-olds, but, you know, so is like G.I. Joe or I don't know, whatever. I'm so out of touch. But like all the stuff that you see on cartoons and stuff is not generally the same kind of thing that you'd see with well, more widely accepted adult shows and stuff like that, right? It's just a lot more cheesy, and so people are like, Minecraft, oh yeah, that kid's game.
Yeah. I think that is a little off topic, but I think that's kind of how Minecraft kind of went incognito there for a second, because it got labeled a little bit. It got labeled, and then a big, I guess, kids grew up. As a kid, you don't really get judged for playing Minecraft, but if you play it when you're a little bit older, you'll get judged a little bit, I guess you could say. But now that everyone's starting to play it, I think the old player base is starting to come back to it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So now the player base is starting to grow again, like how it was way back in the 2000s.
And I think another interesting thing too, just kind of an observation of YouTube in general, is that we've seen that there's a lot of people who, my age, who like are now creating all these YouTube videos and stuff, and they're using like the stuff that they have to make videos, and it's like kind of unusual because of the way that, like, oh, this is like, if I was, you know, or kind of like recollecting the same things that I did, because it's just like that generation. For example, I've seen numerous like review videos on Pixar animation, specifically ones released in like late 2000s, or late 2000s, early 2000s, you know, everything from like Incredibles all the way up to stuff like Kung Fu Panda and all that.
Yeah.
And I think Minecraft is kind of the same way. But did you know that Minecraft is reportedly the best-selling game of all time?
Really?
It is the best-selling game on all platforms of all time. I actually have the list of the best-selling games on my on my other monitor here right now. So, just to give you a scope of an idea, the 5th best-selling game of all time is PUBG right now.
Really?
With 50 million copies sold, multi-platform.
Wow.
Right? It's a lot. 4th place goes to Wii Sports for the Wii. But I think that's kind of cheating, because if you ever bought a Wii when they came out,
didn't it come with it?
it was bundled with it. Yeah, like there's no, I don't know if you can really say that that's best selling, but technically they did sell them with the. It kind of counts, I guess.
It kind of counts. We'll let it slide, Nintendo. We'll let it slide.
Exactly. And then next up is GTA 5, which sold 110 million copies worldwide. I didn't mention. PUBG was 50 million, Wii Sports was 82 million. But yeah, GTA 5, 110 million. Then, second place, get this one, Tetris.
Tetris? My boy Tetris up there with the big bugs.
170 million copies sold worldwide. And then there's
like old Tetris, or?
Oh yeah, no, it says initial release date, June 6, 1984. So like the original Tetris.
God.
I'm not sure if that's like including spin-off series, like where you're like, oh, it's Tetris, but it has this gimmick to it. But still, I mean, that's a lot of That is a lot of
That is nuts.
copies, right? It is insanity, dude.
I'm impressed with you, Nintendo.
Yeah, go Nintendo. Actually, Nintendo has a ton of games on this top list. So in the top, let me count because they don't actually have a list here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. In the top 13 games, 8 of them are Nintendo.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It is very impressive. Yeah, and Minecraft is the top-selling game of all time with 176 million copies sold worldwide.
That is just... It's crazy to think about.
It really is. And the reason why I kind of like bring up the whole YouTube kind of aspect to it is because I wonder, will there be a point in the future where we'll see people start making Gary's mod videos again and GTA 5 videos again, do you think?
Lord. I think GTA 5 has passed. I think everyone's done with that.
Time's over.
Because I've played GTA 5 myself, and that game gets really boring.
Really quick.
Yeah.
I think
if you don't have a bunch of friends to play with, to do a bunch of mini games, it's boring. The main game is just boring in general to me. If you like grinding, because there's a lot of grinding, it's crazy how much grinding really is.
Just to grinding, get your levels up and stuff, right?
Yeah, not really get your levels up, but just rack in money, get a bunch of cool cars, lots of guns. It's just constantly do a really expensive heist, complete it, and then spend all that money you just got, or save it up, whichever. Or it's just super repetitive, and it can get pretty boring at times. That's what I found out about that game. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I did play a little bit of it myself. When was the game released? 2013. So 2013.
Yeah, it's surprisingly old. I didn't realize how old it was.
Yeah, 6 years. Minecraft is, well, it says the initial release date was 2011, but I don't think that's right because
I don't think that's right.
Didn't it recently have its 10th year anniversary or something?
I think so.
Or maybe it was released for beta in 2009 or something, and then it officially released 2011. Maybe that's what it was. Because I was surprised by that because Terraria, which is often cited as being a Minecraft clone, was released earlier in the same year. It was released in May of 2011, and Minecraft, on the other hand, was released in November of 2011, at least according to this. And Terraria is actually one of the top-selling games of all time as well, so it's still done very, very well for itself, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I mean, Minecraft, of all things, man.
Yeah, that's just
so bizarre to think about.
It is.
So, what about that makes it bizarre, and why is it such a fun? Ooh, that's why you don't dig straight down, kids. But what about it makes it so iconic? Do you think?
I think that's actually a really hard question.
Yeah.
I don't think you can really. I mean, there's an answer to that question, but I don't think there's a good answer to that question.
Hard to quantify it, really.
Yeah.
I get that.
Because some games just never die, and that's just a fact.
Yeah.
I just don't think Minecraft ever died. I think it's just that people kind of moved on from it. It was never forgotten about. Everyone already knew what Minecraft was. It was never forgotten about. No one. I don't think anyone who grew up when Minecraft was a thing could ever forget what Minecraft is, and just considering how popular it is, like you said, with the millions of copies.
Yeah.
So I think to be honest, I think it was just kind of a matter of time until it came back. It really just needed one slight boost, I guess you could say, from a content creator.
Yeah.
A really big one is PewDiePie. Getting a slight bit of boost, and then people all of a sudden realize Oh yeah, remember when that game was popular? And then some people might go back for like nostalgia reasons and see what's all changed.
Right. Because like you said, you were playing back in elementary school, and you
Oh yeah,
and then coming back to this is like, the good old days. I'm still
yeah,
terrified of everything.
yeah,
And I do also
exactly.
remember like during that time, when I think for me it was, when was that the Hunger Games mod was released or whatever they had?
Oh, it wasn't a mod. It was actually just a game mode that people made with like plugins.
Oh, really? It
Yeah,
wasn't. That's actually even more impressive when it's put that way.
mhm, yeah.
Wow.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I remember. That's what I associate with Minecraft the most. Funny enough.
That that's that used to be huge back then.
Yeah. Well, I think as well because like it kind of gave a whole new meaning to the idea of survival on uh,
Yeah.
on Minecraft.
It, it gave you something else to do.
Yeah. I mean, sure, you can do this for a podcast, for a couple hours or whatever, but you
Yeah.
can't really. It's not going to last forever for sure.
Oh yeah.
Can't possibly.
I mean, this game really relies on your imagination as a player
Yeah.
because yes, there's bosses to beat and those are always fun to do, but you also have to think about that's kind of it. You know, the rest is up to you to figure out what you want to do, like what do you want to build and all that.
Yeah. Like the achievements are made by you.
Yeah, like half the time you get achievements just by not even trying to get the achievements.
Yeah. You're like, oh,
Oh, yeah, I didn't think
would you
that.
look at that? Incredible. Yeah, I've done that a few times with other games. I know that there are some games as well that are like they give you achievements just for playing the game, basically.
Yeah,
Like once you cross a certain threshold, I think that's kind of what happens with Minecraft as well. I've recently been playing for well, spoilers for a video I want to make. I've been playing Okami, which they released an HD version of, and it was on sale
oh,
recently. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and try it. I've played like the first hour of it so far. I got really frustrated with the opening cutscene because oh my goodness, it's literally 25 minutes long of like your typical Asian mythology kind of thing.
yeah.
Ugh, it that bothered me immensely. But even in the hour that I played, I think I got like 4 or 5 achievements just for playing the game. It was like, oh, congratulations, you have hit uh, such and such an achievement. Would you like to continue? Kind of thing. It
Yeah.
wasn't really not that like I felt bad about completing the game or anything. I just was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm here now, and that's like
Yeah.
some minor downfall I think of a lot of games. Just that.
Mhm. It, to be honest, I think I like older games more than newer games because newer games feel like they kind of hold your hand. If that makes sense. I don't know if I'm the only one that kind
Oh
of gets that
no,
feeling.
absolutely. I was talking to you about Pokemon the other day, wasn't I?
Yeah, I was actually just about to bring that up. Like Pokemon, it holds your hand all the way through, and it kind of just bothered me. Like it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I was
It was
because I
disappointing
remember,
almost.
yeah, like playing the older games growing up. You actually had to look for things. It felt more of a challenge and a puzzle than anything. But now everything's kind of just handed to you,
Yeah, I do
which
agree with you on
is
that. And I also like in in Pokemon Ruby. Uh, oh yeah, we should do that. Did you finally get? Did you finally get some things?
yeah.
Okay. Well, I found a village, so I'm gonna see if I can steal a bed from over here.
All right.
Yeah. Um, but in Pokemon Ruby, the problem that I found was that they're not the problem. Like when on that first gym, the Rock type gym. Now I was kind of a dumb kid, in quotes, uh, kind of meaning I really was, and I always went with the fire starter because I just like fire. I'm a pyromaniac, sue me. And
Yeah.
I always just thought like, oh, what's the fire starter in that one? Chimchar, I think. No, am I thinking of a different game? But anyway, whatever the fire starter is, I always went with it.
Yeah, it's Jim Sharp.
Chimchar. Okay, I remember correctly. Good. Anyway, almost got blown up by a creeper. But I found that like much more challenging because the first gym battle in that game is a rock type. Is a rock type gym battle, and so
Yeah.
you're like, oh crap, I really have to think. And so there was this cave nearby at the rock type gym that had Makuhitas, which is a fighting type Pokemon, and so I just stock up on those all the time, and would go like, so I actually had to put some effort and like start thinking about how I wanted to play that, you know. And the AI was not very kind to me. Like I did lose that first gym battle multiple times. But with the newer games, I have the most recent one I have, which isn't actually too recent, a few years ago, is Pokemon Y. And I honestly don't remember the gym leaders from that game at all. I mean, I think the game looks great, but the only thing I remember about the gym leaders is that one of them gave me a Lucario, and she wears roller skates, and one of them has like a weird chin disformity. Like that's all I remember from that game, from those gym leaders. I don't remember anything else.
Like I remember finding Riolu or Ricario. Always remember that being like a hard grind looking for those, because and then they kind of just hand it to you and you're like, oh,
You're like, okay. And not only do that, but they give it to you at like level 35, which is, you know, pretty equivalent to the level of your Pokemon at the time. So you're like, oh cool, I didn't even have to train this.
yeah.
I don't think the IVs I got are perfect for it, but I mean that's just nerd shit. Like nobody cares about that. But anyway, it doesn't really matter how good or bad your Pokemon are. Oh, good, I found a bed. All right, there we go. It doesn't really matter how good or bad your Pokemon are. You just always kind of win it out in the end.
Yeah.
It was really, reality was often disappointing.
I agree with that.
One of those examples. Ooh, that's a nice looking bed. Oh, I wish I could take it. I think they get. Ooh, Enderman. Yeah. So basically, to come back around to the point, is that I do agree with you in saying that I feel that newer games really tend to hold your hand a lot more than older games did. And I think a lot of people are going back to those older games because they're like, well, yeah, sure, the newer games have great graphics and stuff, but at the same time, there's just nothing going for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Just
What's
very
another
disappointing.
what's another game though, in from your experience, that could have done better?
Another game from my I can't remember the game that I'm thinking of. It was a really big like disappointment, but I can't remember. I know it wasn't a platform, but
Was it like Final Fantasy or something?
yes, in a way.
I know they recently remade that game.
I don't think it's out yet.
Oh, it's not out yet. Oh, it's on its way.
Yeah, it's on its way.
Oh, well, here's to hoping it's not, a letdown.
A lot of people are open. Now, I'm gonna be honest, which this could make people mad. I don't think Final Fantasy VII is as good as people say it is.
Ooh.
Hey,
Hot
yeah,
take.
I said it. Yeah, how dare you? But
Heretic.
the reason why I think is, I don't know if this was just the game that I had on my PlayStation, like if that was the thing that was bugging it out, but I just, so many things just felt off about, I don't know what like just set me off. Like I literally couldn't finish the game. Like, it was that bad. I was trying my hardest to
Was
get into it, but I couldn't as much as I did in the Final Fantasy.
was it like the story or the?
Yeah, the story just didn't sit well with me. Not like anything was wrong with it. Like, I just felt like some things were missing, and it wasn't very satisfying to me, I guess.
Yeah, I get that. What was the game
And
that
plus, I
oh.
couldn't really see what was on the screen just because of how janky the game kind of looked. Like, it literally hurt my eyes to look at it.
It's just so over the top most of the time.
No, it's not that it was over the top. It's just that. Have you seen Final Fantasy? Have the old Final Fantasy VII?
No, truth be told, I haven't.
It's, don't get me wrong, it's a really old game, but it actually hurts my eyes to look at it. I'm kind of a graphics kind of guy. If it doesn't have good graphics, I kind of don't play it.
Yeah,
because I want to enjoy what I'm looking at.
that's fair.
Which hopefully this I hope this remake's gonna be good.
Yeah, to actually help
And
like
then-
make it look good.
Yeah, then I'll definitely try it again. For sure.
Yeah. Personally, I've always been like for me, I've always been into story and controls. Like those are my main critiques that I have whenever it comes to reviewing games. Like, if it doesn't feel fun to play, then I just won't enjoy the game. And if the character writing is obnoxious, or if the story just doesn't make any sense, then I won't find as much enjoyment out of it in comparison to most other people, I think. Which leads to some like really interesting, I don't know. I don't know if it's actually incredibly interesting, but I find that the way that I choose to perceive games is probably a little different than most other people, because I understand that a lot of people will come to a game for an experience, and if people think that, you know, BioShock Infinite is, you know, the best game of all time and you should play it, then yeah, you're free to think that. But I just, man, I couldn't get past the gameplay myself at times. Like, it's fun, it has its moments, and it does some creative things with it, but the story is so good that the gameplay becomes a chore almost.
Oh yeah.
And so my overall response to the to the game was like, it's okay, I guess. Which I think may have not been what a lot of people were expecting, because when I was looking up reviews for that game, I looked at, I mean, I don't take a lot of reviews online seriously, because I need to figure out games for myself, obviously. And I was looking on Metacritic, though, and one of the reviews is like, this game's the best game ever, the story has so many twists and turns, and etc. And many people were rating it 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. And it's hailed as one of the greatest games to ever be released on PS3. And I'm like, oh, crap. I'm not getting something here. But I just think that my take on that game was more focused on how the smoothness of gameplay went and how the story was, instead of like, was one aspect of the game super good? Okay, cool, 9 out of 10.
Yeah. I kind of want to pick a bone at IGN, how their rating system works.
Oh
Can
my
we do that
goodness.
for a second.
IGN. Oh, please do. Go ahead, man.
It's they critique kind of like, oh, it's so bad it just hurts to like even think about it.
It's very surface level.
Very surface level critiques, and even when they know it's a bad game, they still give it a higher than a 7 almost every time.
It's almost like they critique their game based on like how renowned the series is and how big the company is behind it. Like there was like some contradiction with their review where someone said, oh, they're making too many Call of Duty games, like how dare they do this, and then they give Advanced Warfare some insanely high score, and whatever.
Then they just go 9 out of 10. There's always something for everybody.
Yeah. Exactly. I see we watch the same videos.
Yeah, hilarious.
It is. And
yeah, it just hurts, you know.
It really does. And I think as well, like, part of their problem is that they know that, I mean, when I first did my first couple of reviews, I gave Darkest Dungeon, Terraria, and Fortnite a numerical rating. And I was like, you know what? It's not a good idea, man. It's just not a good idea. Not because, like, it's because numbers. Oh shit, I'm gonna die. Oh, I didn't die. Okay, I'm fine. Anyway, it's not because numbers are bad per se, but it's because you and I understand what numbers are meant to represent very differently. Mm-hmm. So, for example, for you, a 7 out of 10 may just be average, but for me, that's slightly above average because of the way that I rate things in my head. I go like a 5 out of 10 is kind of a middle ground, and then points that made me think the game was better was, you know, increased points, and then points that I thought made the game worse would, you know, decrease points. So I would probably rate BioShock Infinite a 7 or 6 out of 10 because the story is so good, but the gameplay was so detracting from the rest of the game. But if I were to say like, oh yeah, I rate BioShock Infinite a 7 out of 10, people would lose their minds because I know how that, like, a 7 out of 10 is perceived as just like, oh, it's just average. I'm like, no, it's actually slightly above average in my head. And to bring this full circle back to my original point, I think like IGN knows that their consumers, the people who read their reviews, are very much looking out for the numerical value that they're giving. And they know that if they give anything lower than like a 7 out of 10, then that means that people will perceive that game as like a failure, and they'll wonder why IGN's lost their heads. So, I just, in short, I think like rating things with numerical values is dumb. I think that opinions need to be had on games, and it's okay to have differing ones because not every game was made for everybody.
Exactly. It's also kind of like they could feel like they're afraid that they're just going to completely thrashed by the community for the rating that they give, and they don't want their name to be heard. If that makes sense.
You think it would like ruin their brand reputation or something?
Not necessarily like ruin it, but it's just they would gain more negative than they would positive.
Yeah, I see what you mean. They're almost not meant to be a factual review company. They're just kind of meant to be a hot take of like how the best fan would perceive the game.
Yeah, definitely.
It's kind of disappointing.
It is. That's how it be.
So, if you were to, let's say that you owned your own reviewing site or like review company, or like you were just a freelance reviewer yourself, what would you most incorporate into your reviews? Like, how would you approach games?
Well, it's kind of different because a lot of people look for I would kind of rate it on what people are looking for nowadays.
Right.
Like graphics and maybe story, but mainly graphics areas where people are at now.
Yeah.
Not many people are looking for gameplay. Well, not saying that trash gameplay. If Fortnite gets popular, any game can get popular. I'm sticking by that. But
that's a good point.
It's just I don't know. It's a tough spot because you want to make people happy, but you also want to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd probably go just graphics and probably story. Those would be my main ratings. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't just like completely ignore like how good or bad the gameplay is, because you're there to have fun.
Yeah.
And also, I think games should be memorable. The storyline should be memorable. You shouldn't play a game and then completely forget the story within like a couple days. I think a good game sits with you for maybe a week or two.
Right. I do agree with you on that. It's the same with a good movie, right? Like, you want a good movie to stick with you for a little while at least.
Makes it memorable.
Well, and speaking of good movies, what was your take on the recent Marvel movies that they've been putting out?
Oh, like Endgame and all that?
Endgame, Far From Home.
I don't know. I haven't watched Far From Home, but I did watch Endgame. And I don't think Endgame was as good as it could have been.
Yeah.
I felt like they could have easily done a way better job.
Like unrealized potential kind of thing.
Yeah. And kind of the forced... I don't want to like go into politics or anything, but
yeah.
I'm just going to bring it. It's where all the female superheroes kind of had their own fighting scene. And it was like kind of shoved it down your throat, like, hey, we support femininity. It, like, that kind of was more annoying than anything.
Yeah, it was almost more pandering than it needed to be.
Exactly, pandering. That's the word.
Yeah.
Pandering. But, like, it wasn't necessary. I think everyone would have been happy if that. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't really matter if that scene was there or not. But I don't think people would have cared if that scene was there or not.
Yeah. I do get what you mean. I think once the scene is, well, can't mind that with that. Like, once the scene was there, that's when it started creating discussion. Like, was that really necessary? But before, if it wasn't there, would it have been like, where's our female representation? Maybe I'm not. Who knows? Maybe I'm a guy. I don't understand, how people feel about their gender being represented. Look, man, I talk about video games in my bedroom. What do you mean?
Well, yeah, no, I completely understand where you're coming from, because you think about it, they could have done that in so many better ways. It didn't have to be like, hey, look at this, it's the female characters. They could have just been with the other superheroes kicking butt. Yeah. They didn't all have to be together. And I think that's also kind of what set people off, is that they were all together and it was super forced,
Yeah.
A lot of people just didn't enjoy that scene. I don't know. There's probably someone out there that actually really enjoyed that scene, which I don't doubt that there isn't.
Yeah. And I still think, like, it's kind of cool to see all the people come together. But I also feel like, on top of that movie just being massive fan service, I like the Avengers series. I like the Marvel movies, I'll admit to that. And the whole movie was admittedly a bunch of fan services, like, oh, hey, dude, look, we're going back to the first time we did this thing. You remember? Oh, dude, it's so cool. And then when it comes down to it, if anything, I don't view that as a feminist message, as like some people may perceive me saying. I'm saying that was more of like a massive amount of fan service stacked on top of just more fan service that we didn't really realize we wanted, or we didn't realize we wanted and didn't really ask for either way.
Yeah, totally.
So just to kind of clear that up a little bit.
But I think the most recent movie that I've actually enjoyed, I would honestly have to say the new Toy Story.
The new Toy Story?
Definitely. My friend, we were joking around it as kind of like a meme, like, hey, let's go watch Toy Story. And then we did that night, and everyone actually, like, enjoyed it. It was kind of like, it hurts. It actually kind of breaks your heart. I don't want to spoil it, but it actually kind of... It's good. It's a good movie. I would highly suggest seeing it if you've seen all the other ones.
Yeah, I have. I just kind of thought, like, it was going to be another one of those cash grab movies where it's like, hey, look.
No, yeah.
Cars 3, everybody.
Yeah. Everyone actually thought Cars was a somewhat decent film.
Well, it was kind of fun. You know,
It was fun. I'm not gonna deny that, but
and
oh boy.
then they did
And
like,
then planes existed.
yeah,
Planes.
I didn't watch Planes because I was like, I've had enough talking vehicles with eyes in their windshields for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's Slenderman.
No one really understood why they made planes.
Yeah.
I don't think planes should have existed.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. That movie. Like, I'm just trying to think of any sort of logical reason aside from someone just kind of sitting back in their room with a bowl and just being like, man, what if, like, okay, we did the cars thing, but what if, like, planes could talk too, man? Like, I just think it's just the complete fever dream, or not fever dream, because marijuana is not hallucinogenic, but I think it's just a narcotic-induced dream.
Wouldn't surprise me.
You ever been like, I don't know if you ever been in the hospital for any major reasons, but I have been in the past, and I imagine being high on Novocaine and making that movie, or even Cars. Like now when you go back to Cars, you're just like, yeah, it was fun, but why?
But why? Yeah.
Speaking of upcoming movies, though, Christopher Nolan is coming out with a new movie. January or June of next year. I can't remember. Like it was abbreviated to JAN or JUN of 2020. And it's called Tennant. And the only thing we have so far is a GIF of a poster, and the word is spelled TENET, and it's just spinning. And the last T is like upside down, so it like spins, and it's right side up on one side, and then it spins back, and it's right side up again. And so I'm kind of excited for that, because Inception's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I really like the storytelling style in that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tenet, having this sort of weird cyclical symbolism reminds me of that, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Movie, I'm not really a movie guy.
Yeah.
But I can always tell a good movie when I see one. It always makes me happy when I see a good movie.
Yeah.
Because you can't ever be mad seeing a good movie.
That's true, yeah. You can't ever be like, dang, I really hate how oops, I'm trying to TP to you. Suey boy. Okay, hello. Is me. Oh, nice. Spire. Anyway, I had lost my train of thought, but oh, hello, Spider. I think like movies are really the industry is definitely dominated by the likes of of superhero movies now. Oh, and by the way, I have something for you. I have some of this. There you go. It's in the water. It's coming right to you. You're welcome.
Swimming around my little pool.
Yeah, I can't get out. Oh, there's an exit over here.
Whee. Yeah.
But yeah, they're so heavily dominated by this superhero concept, or that's not the word I'm going for, but they're dominated by that genre.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, I'm making sense, thank goodness. The other person here understands me. And I think it's gotten to a point now where the originality and the sort of pizzazz that it brought has been lost.
Mm-hmm.
And man, it's what was it? There's like some video I was watching where this guy was explaining like, yeah, I mean, it's cool to see the world get saved from complete destruction once, but seeing it get saved from destruction over and over and over and over and over again. It just kind of, it's like the same story every time, and there's just nothing new to it.
You always know the ending.
Yeah, exactly. You always know what's going to happen.
Yeah, not necessarily like the way to it. Which I guess then people could come up with the argument of it's about the journey, not the destination. And when it comes to movie, I disagree with that.
Yeah, I agree with you in disagreeing.
Yeah.
I think that movies should be about their end goal, right? And getting around to that end goal is a very integral part of that. There's just no way around it.
Because I want like a surprise, I don't want to know what's going to happen all the time.
Yeah.
Because everyone likes a good surprise in movies. Like a plot twist, that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah. And something original too, not like, oh, the bad guy was the person who was the head of the corporation all along. Brought to you by Disney animated films.
Yeah. And movies seem to are starting to get lazy when it comes to plot twists.
Yeah, they really are.
A plot twist should be something you weren't expecting but makes sense when you think about it. It's kind of like you just slip something under the carpet and then
pulls the carpet out from under you, kind of thing.
Yeah, you're not expecting it.
Yeah.
But movies are just kind of getting lazy with them because you can usually tell who the villain is within the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
I've been starting to realize that.
The same thing happened with the only television series that I've ever watched to completion across multiple episodes is Monk, which is like this series that ended in 2008. It's a American TV series about a obsessive compulsive detective. And it's a pretty funny series. It's a good series too. But there was a point where I kind of understood their formula. They're like, oh, okay, well, we open with the murder case. Oh no. And then we either through observing the murder or through interaction learn who the culprit is pretty much right away, because they're like the new character in the film and there's the one person who could have done it, but then you have like a couple other characters who are just not possibly. I mean, I could go on forever. But point being that it's always like one of three characters that have been recently introduced into the show for that specific episode, and you're like, well, yeah, this one's the one that's the villain, and you'll figure out by the end of the show, and it kind of ruined the surprise after a while for me. So I think like movies in the same way. I mean, this was like across 8 seasons of television, so you really caught on to the pattern. But it was still fun. But movies are like, we have to figure this all out immediately, and
yeah.
I think another problem that movies have is that a lot of them very poorly set themselves up for sequels.
True, though.
And then they go and make a sequel off of like literally no content.
Exactly. Because then they have to come up with a whole new problem.
Yeah.
Which I think Incredibles did a great job of setting themselves up for a sequel.
Yeah. They
How
really
it ended
did.
on a new villain. That was great.
That was perfect.
It got people excited, like what was going to happen. Because let's be honest, everyone liked Incredibles. Incredibles is just a good movie.
Yeah. It was a fun movie, and it had relatable characters, and it had, the premise was interesting too, because it wasn't, instead of being like, we're superheroes and we're super unreachable, it was like these heroes are normal people and they have to go through the same problems that you do, like income tax and stuff. Like, it's just kind of weird to think about, but it was still hilarious.
Yeah.
And it was just creative that way.
And I think that was probably the only movie where I liked an actual kitchen scene.
Kitchen scene? What do you mean by a kitchen scene?
how the like a dinner scene.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the only movie where I actually enjoyed like a dinner scene in a movie. Most dinner scenes are super boring and they try to make it seem natural, but it wasn't. But they did it so well. Just having the two siblings is constantly like nagging at each other.
Yep.
Having that, yeah, like it was just good. Like they did a really good job. Wasn't it Pixar that did that?
Yeah, it was Disney Pixar. Yeah.
Like Pixar is actually so good at making. They're actually just good in general for like sequels and whatnot. They do a really good job on it. What I noticed is that they completely flop at trequels.
Oh no, they hate trequel. They're terrible at them.
They do terrible with triple sequels. I can't pronounce that word.
Trequels.
Yeah, trequels. It sucks because they set themselves up and then they just face plant into the floor.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. What was
it sucks, but
Kung Fu Panda actually is a movie that a series I want to review on my main channel. And yeah, like the first movie, it was great. The second movie, it was okay. I may be one of the outliers here, but I didn't like the second movie nearly as much.
Oh no, I didn't either.
Okay, thank goodness. Because like from other things I've been hearing around the internet, people are like, "Yeah, the second movie for Kung Fu Panda was even better than the first." I was like, "Uh oh."
But was it really?
But was it really? Yeah. So I do have some apprehensions about that, but I'll get over it for sure. Point being, though, that yeah, the Pixar's great at making original films. I think they're fantastic.
Definitely, they do a fantastic job at that.
And then sequels, they're okay. I didn't think Incredibles 2 was as good as Incredibles 1, but it was still enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
And then it comes down to a third movie in that series, and their brain function just goes.
It just flies out the window.
Yeah, exactly. It's gone. Here's all your brain functions that you need necessary to make this film, and it's gone.
Yeah.
You know. So
yeah,
that was definitely a bit of a downer as far as that movie went. I thought that the third act for Incredibles 2 was a little weak, a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'm my opinions are basic and bad. So what the heck do I know?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on trequels and whatnot.
Yeah.
How poorly that they execute them.
And they're just.
But I don't think anyone ever has done prequels as bad as movies.
Yeah.
Horror movie sequels or trequels or quadruples or whatever, however many they make, like Halloween. What are they on Halloween? Like 9 now. But
7 or 9, some around there.
Because just let it just stop. You're ruining.
Just let it die. Let Jamie Lee Curtis enjoy her retirement money.
Exactly.
Her money from retiring from film, if she has. And
I don't know if she has, but she's actually getting kind of old.
Yeah, she is. She was the original actor for Laurie Strode in the first Halloween.
Yeah, definitely.
And then she was in the most recent Halloween film as well.
I loved that film.
The recent one?
I think that was good. Now I hope they leave it.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, all right. Thank you for not messing it up this time.
Yeah, I think that was a great end. Even though I know it's not going to be the end. We should sleep. I know it's not going to be the end, but I want it to be.
Let me just make some bread and I'll be good to go. Yeah, because like it's just one of those things where you're like, man, let good things be remain to be good things.
Let good things be good.
What was the? Okay, what's your thoughts on Big Hero 6 though? That's another interesting, original film. I think that one was a bit of a letdown by comparison. I think that's like when I think like big bad corporation guy was behind it all the whole time, I immediately think of that movie.
That's our motherfucker, and there goes Mister.
Oh, did you die?
No, creeper snuck up on me.
Oh.
Upstairs.
Hashtag relatable. Yeah, that movie, huh?
Yeah, I get what you. Not a fucking another one, dude. Are you shitting? Oh, God, dude.
Is your mountain haven not turning out so well for you up there?
Yeah, I was building those slabs. Like over here, I'm building these slabs, and I don't think it was meant to be, dude. Like
the world said no.
Yeah, but I definitely get what you mean. Big, it was kind of obvious, in my opinion. I'm running out of dirt. That's okay. Dirt's overrated. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. Big evil corporate guy. It was a letdown, but I feel like for kids, just the whole thought of like a really soft hero, like the little inflatable guy.
Yeah,
I think that's just it's a cute idea.
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
But I don't know if it can carry a whole movie.
Yeah, you need to have something with personality. It needs to be a side character. Like, imagine an entire movie with just Groot and Rocket Raccoon. We would get tired of it. We would hate it.
Yeah.
After a little bit, and I think that's what. Not to make a direct parallel to to Guardians of the Galaxy and Rocket Raccoon to Hero or whatever. But I think that the pairing kind of works in the same way, and if Rocket Raccoon and Groot were the main focus of a movie, the movie would be awful. I think it would just be so irritating.
Maybe a small spin-off, but not a whole movie.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that. Small spin-off, but not a whole movie. Speaking of spin-offs as well, I think like one of the weirdest spin-offs, it's like one of those decisions that you make when you're just absolutely sleep deprived and you're not sure if you're awake or if you're having one of those waking nightmares kind of things.
One of those bad purchases.
Yeah. My cousin visited me. This was probably 3 years ago, but he visited me and my family, and my parents and my sister were out one night, and my cousin and I were like, well, you want to watch a movie? I was like, yeah, sure. So we logged into Netflix, and we weren't sure what to watch, and so what popped up, but lo and behold, Penguins of Madagascar.
Yes.
And we were like,
that's all I need to say is just yes.
And my cousin and I like looked at each other and we're like, all right, let's do it. Let's see how this turns out. And great movie for kids. Terrible movie otherwise, I think.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, the jokes were so obnoxious and drawn out in that movie. Ugh.
Yes, but no.
Yes, but actually no.
I thought it was a nice little spin-off.
Yeah, like as far as spin-offs go, it wasn't bad at all.
Have you seen the Christmas? It was like the first spin-off for the Penguins. It was about Christmas.
Yeah, and Private gets kidnapped and he's like used as an ornament or whatever.
Yeah, I loved that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was fun.
I thought that was adorable, and it was fun, enjoyable,
and creative, and it like really helped exemplify the attitudes of the Penguins.
Yeah,
but I
you
think,
really got to like know them more.
Yeah, Rico's always like hiding stuff in his expandable penguin gullet.
Yeah, always just constantly has something.
That
like
was probably the
launcher in
best
his
part.
stomach.
Dynamite sticks. Yes,
Yeah,
we go. Kaboom.
Kaboom. Like it's too good.
So much personality. I think though, like, I mean, yeah, the characters had voices and stuff, but I almost feel like they're comparable to minions in a way, where as a side character doing their side character thing, they're great. But as a main focus for a movie, their gag as a side character can only go on for so long, you know?
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Oh, man.
Then it kind of falls down to the industry, like how far can you push this until people don't like it anymore?
Right. They definitely tested that with Cars 3.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely tested it there. No doubt about that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, Cars 3. Oh.
Cars 3 was... Everyone
Why was there a hostage scenario in that?
Why was it
it's
even
a
made?
Cars movie. Yeah, why did Cars 3 exist to begin with?
First off, this dumb American who knows nothing becomes a secret agent, and now there's a hostage situation.
Yeah, why is there a hostage situation?
How'd they even tie their ropes with their cars? They don't have hands, dummy.
This is not what I signed up for a Cars movie.
Right. If you want to have a hostage situation, you gotta do it realistically.
Yeah. I don't want Cars having a hostage. That's not realistic. That is just... Why?
Cars blowing up other cars with super fuel.
World War Cars. I want that to be the next movie.
It'd probably be World War Planes, wouldn't it?
World War Planes.
Oh my goodness. Oh, we've been... Oh my goodness, we've already been going for about an hour. That was great. About the end of the podcast, yeah. So to close this off, though, we did start like talking about Minecraft and YouTube trends and stuff. And I'm just wondering, are there any games right now or styles of YouTube videos right now that you think are kind of on the decline but will come back in 5 years' time? Because I am personally think there's going to be like a resurgence of parody videos and sketches in like the next few years. That's my thing.
Yeah, probably parody videos. That's a good call. I'd honestly have to say that as well.
Because I mean, where else do you go? Now that Minecraft is back, we've got to make more Minecraft parodies. Come on.
Yeah, come on. Everyone's slacking, dude.
Right? Where's Captain Sparkles, huh?
Where did Captain Sparkles go? Isn't he on the SMP Live? Pretty sure he is.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he is.
Oh my goodness. I didn't even know he went that far.
Oh yeah, he's back, boys.
He is back. Well, good on him.
They even got Sky back on that, and that blew my mind.
Really?
Yeah, they got him back, and I was like, what?
How on earth?
Doesn't that guy make like rap music now?
Right? Like Joji. Rest in peace, Papa Franco.
Yeah, rest in peace, Papa Franco. But the only difference is that I actually like his music. I don't like Sky's music.
Sky makes rap in quotation marks.
It's more like depressed rap, you know.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I kinda hate myself. Hey.
Hey, I want to die. Hey. Yeah.
Well, okay, we're not rappers, obviously. We can't make music.
Clearly. Yeah.
We'll work on our single. We're depressed and there's a bridge.
We're depressed and...
Sorry.
Coming soon.
Coming soon to a YouTube channel near you. I mean, every YouTube channel is near you unless you're in China.
Oh, that was kind of a cheap shot.
What are they gonna do? Take my channel down? They can't. They can't even view my All right, I'm gonna stop before I get put on a even worse shit list than they already have on.
You ever heard of
Canadians?
You ever heard of NordVPN?
Exactly. This podcast episode is sponsored. If I ever get sponsors, I think I would be the worst at doing call-outs for them. I don't know if I could ever take myself seriously.
I think I'd be self-conscious.
Like, this is what I mocked people for before, and now I'm here.
Yeah, look at me now.
Look how far I've fallen.
Exactly.
Alright, well, thank you all so much for coming out this week. Sorry it's been a few weeks. We had some scheduling errors or scheduling conflicts, I should say, that came our way in the last couple of weeks, but we managed to finally get around to recording another episode. And Reid, anything you want to plug or say before we head off?
Give me Cars 5.
Cars 5. All right, Pixar, you heard it here first. Cars. But in order to make Cars 5, you got to go through with my request, and my request is Cars 4, so that Reid can get Cars 5.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, now we have to come with an ultimatum.
Yep. Uh-oh. I almost suffocated myself. Okay, we're fine. We're fine.
We're fine. It's okay.
I'll just write Sky's rap music for him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the end of the podcast episode. See you guys later. Bye-bye.